That's the wrong one. Y'all get on to me.
Welcome to Never Done Projects,
Where we are just a silly little YouTube channel.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and consider joining a member on the wall
How about the road?
for only $4.99 a month.
Alrighty then, everybody. Carlos first. Cootie said, woo! Carlos said, sup, Cootie. Ryan was second because he said it instead of Cootie saying, woo! Carlos said, sup, Ryan. Cootie said, hello, RC and VR. Ryan said, hello, or hey, Carlo and Cootie. Cootie said, I have never been attempting to make burgers so fast in my life. Well, slow down and enjoy life. Ryan said, so, Cootie, how come you don't use our names like everyone else? Alexis is here, so be careful. The Nuke Master is here. And said, yes. Cootie said, what do you mean, VR? With some dancing? Oh, I was jamming out right there. And Ryan said, hello, Alexis. Robert said, Randy Jr., what's on the couch? Dad's Applejack, popcorn, pair of shorts, a bunch of boat parts, donuts, mixed nuts, a paddle, and a flotation device, and a towel. But hello, Robert. Christine says, hey, everyone. Hello, Christine. Boy, internet's crapping out right now. My phone won't even load live. Ryan said, well, I'm sure you've noticed no one but you uses my VR name. That is true. George Colby said, welcome back, man. Thank you, George. How are you? Cootie said, I'm just very terrible with names and remembering them VR. That is Ryan, R-Y-A-N. He's a dang good guy. Ryan said, I feel that, LOL. I only remember names because I've been around forever. Took me almost a year to get the car names right, and I still mess it up. It's all good. Listen, I constantly call Zelda the wrong name. And then I correct Jane because she calls Twisted Sister Zelda. It's okay. We all make mistakes. Just don't forget Black Betty. Boston Bill says, hey guys, happy Monday. Love you all. Respect and say hi to Pops. I will, Boston Bill. He's out there playing in the dirt on the skid steer, but I'll gladly tell him you said hi. Much love from us here at the NDP family. Maria said, we are playing against France. We need a lot of prayers. I'm sorry. I don't think you win in that one. But when in doubt, the French retreat. Ryan said, hey, Maria! Robert said, where is Pops, Randy Jr.? He is out working on the skid steer, Robert. Maria said, hi, Ryan. Jane said, hey, R3. Hello, Jane. Ryan said, Maria, send deodorant to France team. It'll make them sick. Maria said, okay, bye. Okay, bye. Jane said, hi, Cootie. Ryan said, hey, Jane. Carlos said, hello, Maria. Iraq is doomed. Robert asked where Dad is. He's on the skid steer. Jane said, hi, Carlo and Papa Renzo. Carlo said, hello, Jane. And Christine said, hi, Jane. Jane said, hi, Maria. And hi, Ryan. Boston Bill said, Jane. Maria, hey, y'all. Ryan said, how are you, Jane? How you healing? Maria said, they ahead of us 1-0, but I still have hope. You got it. Robert said, how was Robert's work jacket doing? Buddy, that work jacket is in the back of the truck, still smelling like diesel fuel. Jane said, I'm getting there. And hi, Bill. Everybody, I have good news. We have figured out what's wrong with Zelda. And if you're curious, it's broken. Jane said, hi, George. Ryan said, French people smell like cigarettes and sweaty armpits. I'm not around a lot of French people, so. Y'all bear with me for a second. Tomorrow's video, I was working on it for a second. And I'm trying to find some more parts for it. That's skid steer work, probably skid steer work. Nope, boat work, haha. Boat work. Tire work. Y'all might just be getting an episode of tires tomorrow. Yeah, y'all get an episode of Tires tomorrow. Sorry. No, I'm not. Let's see here. Robert said, when you pick me up for work, Randy? Robert, I leave anywhere from 6:30 in the morning all the way up till 7:15. But whenever you're ready, Robert, I'll pick you up. Jane said, hi, Christine. Carlos said, the top of the ladder, or we measure? Ryan said, what did you do? Carlo gets it. Ryan said, most French women look like they've got Chewbacca in a leg lock. And said, I'm also artistic. Yes, you are. John said, hi. Robert said, I'll be ready for work, Randy Jr. Awesome. That's awesome, Robert. Jane said, hi, John. Would y'all like a trip down there to see what's wrong with Zelda? Sneak peek for viewing the live instead of waiting for the video that might be a week from now. Oh, look, everybody, WWE's in and said, can't stand you. Well, sit down. Ryan said, what did you do? Cootie said, I finished the canvas today. Keep stalking my. Jane said, hey, WWE. Carlos said, hey, pedo. Cootie said, porch for the hitman. Keep stalking my porch for the hitman. I hope I put it all right on there. That hitman might have trouble finding you. Robert said, how are your work boots doing, Randy Jr.? They're doing great, Robert. I might have messed up my leg today at work. Went home. I actually got here a lot later than I got off of work. I about had to ask my coworkers to help me in the truck. I couldn't hardly put weight on my leg. Went home, took some, Midol because my coochie hurts. And some Tylenol, some Midol, ibuprofen, and I had Madison rub some horse liniment on me. And took a nap, a good old siesta. And when I woke up, things didn't hurt as bad. So I come to the shop. But here, let's reward y'all. Let's go for a walk. Walk to clear my head. 12 people watching, 9 thumbs up. Floored for the Lord said, hey, buddy. Hello, Floored. Ryan says, sorry to hear you having leg pains, brother. Talking to you, I shouldn't be complaining at all. Hello. Hello, buddy. Are you a good boy? Is you a good boy? You're a good boy. You ain't wagging your tail. What the fuck? You got anything you want to say to the people? Say, burr, burr. Robert said, Randy Jr., we put our work boots, we get back to the shop. Oh, absolutely. Actually, Robert, I put on my tennis shoes. Floyd said, hope you had a blessed Father's Day. Oh, I did, buddy. I got to spend the whole Father's Day with Dad pretty much. Cooked him some burgers and hot dogs. Ryan said, nah, LOL, I don't hurt from my problems. Oh, cool. I'm glad you don't hurt. All right. Y'all tell me, do you see the problem? Floyd said, yes, it takes a little time, but you get used to the pain. I shouldn't be having the pain I'm having. Jane said, Ryan, you aren't having pain, any swelling. And then said, hey, Floyd, is anybody finding the problem? And no, it's not that. That'll be fine. If you haven't found the problem, it's because it's right there. Here, I got a better idea. This is the problem. It is not supposed to be broken. That's part of the mini spool. So I can't turn the rear end right now because it is in gear. And my torquing of my hands won't turn the drive shaft. It is off the ground, but it will not turn right now. But the block for the mini spool broke. So yeah, one of the blocks broke and the other one's not even in the slots anymore. Robert said, can you show me my work boots shirt, Randy Jr.? Sure. I'll show you work shirts. Cootie said, cooking the shite out of the burger meat as we speak. Hell yeah. Brr. Ryan said, you mean the shit I was telling you to not do was what broke? You told me not to do the mini spool? Oh, wait, hold on. Flores said, did you yank the pinion in? I had that problem on my 79. I split the yoke though. No, the pinion went in fine. Hello, Lotus. Lotus said hello, hello. No, the pinion went, everything went in fine, bud. But yeah, that was the part that broke. Oh, Ryan said, I told you not to beat it back into the rear end. Oh, that wasn't the problem. That wasn't even the part I beat in there, Ryan. Lotus said, did we find the damage? I just showed the damage. What the fuck? Oh, I bet you that's where the air conditioner's dripping. Whoopsies! Lotus, I'll send you a picture of what broke. Hold on, what the hell is this? Hey, hold on. Lotus, I'll send you a picture of what broke. Let's see. Alright. What broke, Lotus, was the mini spool. The one of the blocks. Let's see here. Let's see. Carlo, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not reading it, but we're not talking about that kind of stuff, buddy. We talked about it the other day. Come on now. Ryan said, told you not to beat it back into the rear end. To be fair, Ryan, that part went in fine. And when I took the blocks out originally to do the 410 swap, they weren't sitting in a square. They were sitting like in a diamond. So I have a feeling that they were just on the smaller side of tolerances. So yeah, but yes, Lotus said, did we find the damage? Oh, absolutely. Jane said, hey, Lotus. Carlos said, Lotus up. Ryan said, nah, what I mean is you beating it in, put it in a bind. It very well could have. But once it went in, the blocks went in smoothly. And the blocks are held in by the pinion ring, or the pinion, whatever it's called. I don't understand how it happens, but that one block broke, and it does not look like it broke the pin. I've already ordered a new mini spool. If it continues to do this, we will have to figure out some other way, shape, or form to put it together, or figure out if I can put shims in it. Here, Ryan, I'll send you the picture if you couldn't see it too good. Where's Ryan's number at? Oh, whoa, hold on. I didn't even see this. Ryan got a raging bolt. That's awesome. That's the coolest shit art. But yes, the part that I hammered in did not break. Let's see here. Robert said, did you show me my work boot shirt? Oh, I'm sorry, Robert. Here's your work shirts, Robert. Still got the tags on them. You can take your pick, orange or yellow. We got a 2X in orange and an XL in yellow. You take your pick, Robert. Out here. And your work boots. Here, you can use Dad's work boots. He's got the Carolina boots. You can use those. He don't do no work in them. Let's see here. James said, you have swelling in your pants, Ryan. LOL, got to stand on your head. Elevate. The only one bean machine said you should do the thing where it like reads the chat out loud. But that wouldn't be personable. And I don't know how to do that. I would be willing to do that and have it read it off my phone and then it play it in my ear. I would be willing to do that. Lewis Mower sent a gift. Thank you, buddy. I'll have to get to you in just a second. Flow State. Thank you, buddy. Been a minute since I've seen you. But I'll get down to you. I'm sorry. I am very behind. But I'm not willing to make a deal. He was in a bind. He was behind. Willing to make a deal. Okay, my computer's just freezing up. Ryan said, hey, Lotus. Lotus said, I went back and looked. That sucks. It does suck. The actual rear end is fine, it looks like. From what I can see, no damage to the gears. Looks like it just snapped that one block. $104. I've already got it coming. It'll be here at the end of the week. Ryan said, well, I'll let you have it, LOL. Well, hey, if I got to hammer the new one in, then I'll take your word for it, because we had to modify it just to tickle. Rumple's smiling real big. Hey, Rumple. Jane said, there's something that reads the chat out loud. You mean they can sit there and watch? Shit. Let me let AI do all this. Rumple said, huh? Ryan said, you got a Tahoe rear-ended. Hey, Rumple, that is true. But if I absolutely have to have a rear end, I got one in Twisted Sister sitting right out there. And I ran across a 94 Pontiac Trans Am Formula with a 6-speed on Marketplace. It's $500 or best offer. Needs a fuel pump. Fuel tank's already dropped out of it. I said, Twisted Sister has a good fuel pump, but has a fuel leak, and is a 6-speed. Never know. Might have to go get a Pontiac. And it's got a title. You always need a tittle. Lotus said, hey, Jane, Carlo, Ryan, Rump. Jason said peanut butter and jelly sandwich or peanut butter and honey sandwich. PB and J. I'm not a big fan of honey. I put it in my coffee and that's about it. Rumple said, I thought we were in the painting booth. Hello, Randy Jr. No, Rumple, we were down there in the main 3 bays. If you want to go to the paint booth, I can try to take you to the paint booth. Problem being is we will probably lose the Wi-Fi connection. But if you want me to try, we will gladly try. Cootie said just finished the burgers, added some Cajun-style sausage to it and some Cajun-style spices to the hamburger meat. That sounds like it would be good. Florida said, yes, Jane, some streamers have it, and it is TTS basically. Text to speech, I guess. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It takes away from more interaction. Rumple said, Ryan, hello. Lotus said, hey, Cootie. Ryan said, PB&J with honey. Ooh, that sounds sweet. Jane said, Rumple. Rumple said, Lotus, hello. Robert wants the yellow shirt. All right, Robert, you got it. It's yours. I'll wear the orange one. Orange one's for new employees anyway. Rumple said, Jane, hello. Our friend, I don't know how to say it, looks Russian, said, hi, hello. Carlos said, sup, Rumple. Oh, my God, I am very behind. Way behind. Lotus said, blinded by the shirts. Yeah, hey, bright. Cootie said, hello, Lotus. Lewis Mowers sent Flow State for 200 joules. Again, thank you, Lewis Mowers. Ryan said, no swelling for me. Rumple said, is that yellow? Thought that's fluorescent green. It is called safety yellow, but on the computer screen, it does absolutely look yellow. Rumple said, Carlo, hello. I see I'm very far behind, so let me skip over to highs unless they're just coming in. Everybody can say hi to each other, but I'm going to skip over it. I do see GWYN Blade said, hi, bro, you need an advice. I am from Ukraine. Oh, you need advice. What you need advice on? Simon said, hands down, will USA win the World Cup? I know nothing about the World Cup outside of its soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I don't know anything about the World Cup. I apologize. Rumple said, you are lagging behind my message. I am. Lotus said, I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul to think I'm better than you. That's the thing about opinions. Florida said, hey, R3, check into Luma stream. I'll remind me when I get caught up. Lotus said, hell yeah, Formula. Yep, like I said, it looks like it's a 6-speed model. And for $500 with a title, shit. Cootie said, that wouldn't feel so personal. With the AI reading it, I feel the channel differs from others because they take the time to read and actually acknowledge what people say. Thank you, Cootie. A guy I used to work with put up a TikTok video and said, stop chasing followers. Start chasing interaction. And that is one thing that we have. We don't get a lot of views on the lives, and we don't get a lot of views on shorts or videos. We don't. There's no way around it. We don't. But our interaction is, in my opinion, second to none. In the lives, we get to talk to people like it's going out of service. I mean, on the videos, people comment. We can have conversations. Random people can ask questions, and I will respond. We will talk to each other. And I think that goes a lot further than just posting a video and just never responding to anybody. Florida said, what transmission should I put in my 70 C10? I want a twin turbo small block EFI motor for it. Twin turbo small block, you better be careful with that. Old school small block Chevys don't like a lot of boost. But EFI will be good. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to daily drive it, 4L80. Very powerful transmission, handles the abuse. If you don't really care to daily drive it, you're not going to do a lot of highway driving, Turbo 400. They're beefy, and they can be beefed up to handle it. It's completely up to you. I got a 4L60 in my 70 sitting over there that ain't moved. Jane said, what year, Florida? He said right there, 70. Come on, Jane. Robert said, when you come to Canton, Ohio, watch Robert Bowling Park, Center Lane, Randy. Robert, if I go back up to Ohio, I plan on making it a point to make sure that I do everything I can to come watch you bowl at least once. Florida said I have a 70, 79, 83, and 86, Jane, but that's for the 70. Hell, you sound like us. We got a 70, 71, 71, 78. So we got 4, and you got 4. Ha! Biggity dog! Damn, hold on. Yeah, we got 4. 70, 71, 71, 78. Does 94 count? 94. Yeah, we got a lot. Rumpel said Pontiac is GM, isn't it? They don't sell them here. Used to have GM back in the day. They exited twice. Huh. Yes, but Pontiac is GM, but they killed Pontiac off. Pontiac is no longer a brand. Jane said, Rumpel, what you drive now? Rumpel said, Jane, my legs. I don't own a vehicle. All my work had cab service. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, now around here in the middle of BFN, it'd be hard as hell to get cab service. But that's not a bad idea. Lotus said, at least I at least know a few chords on fiddle. I do not. Rumpel said, Jane, my first vehicle purchase would be a folding cycle. Should fit in the lift. Declan bike. Cool. Lotus said, hey, Carlo, there's a 5-foot, 70 mile an hour, 2-stroke Thunderbolt sitting next to me. That's pretty cool. Robert is bowling tomorrow morning. Well, I look forward to hearing what your scores are, Robert. I probably won't be making it up to Ohio for a while, but next time I make it up there, I'll come watch. Cooties, I just wonder where you're going to hang my canvases, LOL. I got 8,000 square foot and, I don't know, shit ton of wall space. Cootie, I got the giant office down there where I just showed the car. If you've not seen a shop tour, you let me know and I'll take you through a tour of the shop, and you tell me, if you send me a canvas, you tell me where you want it hung, and it will be hung there. Truthmaker 777, aka Jacob, said hi. Hello, Jacob. Mike said it's broken. I can't drive it. 55! Yeah, I can't drive it. Listen, Mike, by the time you get here, I will have Zelda fixed. You can drive it, and if you break it, we'll fix it again. But it's okay, Mike. And Mike said, hello, everyone. Hello, Mike. Rumpel said cab works out here because of population density, and said hello to Mike. That's the thing about here. The population density is like way down. We're in the middle of the country. Carlos said, good on you, buddy. And I said, sup, Mike? Jane said, hi, Mike. Florida said, what canvas, Cootie? I think she's painting some canvases. She is a very artistic person. Careful on chugging Mountain Dew. That tickles. Bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, saying I'm better than you. Cootie said, I am making a custom art prize for the channel. It's kind of big piece. That's awesome, Cootie. If you make it and send it, we will gladly display it. Like I said, if you want a shop tour and you tell me where you want it hung, I will hang it there. Now, where I would hang it in here, we're running out of wall space, to be fair. But above the camera right here, I do have some open area, but it depends on how big the canvas is going to be. Florida said, sweet. Did you know I used to think sweet was spelled S-W-E-A-T? Now you do. Mike said, hey, Rumple, Carlo, and Jane. Lotus says, show that Randy pics I sent. All right. Well, that's cool as shit. Hold on, it's downloading. I see one of them. That's what Lotus just sent. Let's see, hopefully it focused. Let me go to live. Nope. Hold on. Maybe. Maybe. Yep. And then I like Morty in the background. There y'all go. That's pretty damn all right right there. That's some very sparkly paint. Jane said, Mike, what's broken? Trying to entertain my granddaughters and pay attention. Lotus said, hey, Mike. Rumple said, I was thinking about microorganisms today. Don't ask why. If a single cell amoeba is single, it's a double whammy for the poor guy. Just spreading my wisdom. Floor said, like Pete or neat sweat. Yeah, no kidding. Jane said, what is it, a boat? It is a boat. Lotus said, it's a rat. That's still pretty damn cool. Leo Lee said, when a 2-year-old cries in a restaurant, every says teacher that kid how to act, but when that kid grows up emotionless, the same people in the restaurant shout, stop being emotionless. We are involved. Yes, a 2-year-old is understandably going to cry, just like my 18-month-old, just like my 5-year-old. Understandably. There is time to show emotion. There is time to cry. And there is time to basically not show out, but express emotion. My opinion is that is not for the public. If you are upset as an adult and can express what is wrong, you in public and throwing a temper tantrum, yeah, you need to learn how to act. But a kid that's 2 years old does not understand a lot, definitely doesn't understand their emotions. Florida said, hi, Mike. Lotus said, it's a 60s hydroplane. WWE said, my favorite part of the stream is when you leave. Hold on, WWE. I got a song for you. WWE, the really sad part is this is what, your third channel you've come in here? You're just working on getting banned again. Mike said, Jane, almost everything I've got spoken. Damn. I hate to hear that, Mike. I hate to hear stuff's breaking. Jane said, LOL, me too, Mike. Maria said, damn, I still number one. Lotus said, I have 0 points for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. If you're on a phone watching, make sure whenever the thing shows up on the top right that says claim XP, make sure you click it and it gives you XP. Leo Lee said, YouTube has this dumb letter cap, so I have to, take letters off. Okay, I mean, I'm stupid, so I can barely read regular. Florida said, hi, Maria, did you wash your dad's car for Father's Day? No. WWE says they're going to shut up. Thank God, WWE. I'm about tired of your stupidity. Rumple said, I'm a grown-up and I cry at restaurants too. They don't spare me either. The social double standards. Societal double standards. Rumple, if you at a restaurant with me and you start crying, I'm probably going to whoop your ass like I whoop my kids. You a grown-ass man. Shut up, Rumple. Maria said, we don't celebrate Father's Day here. Leo Lee said, exactly. Look, I'm not a very emotionally stable person, you could say. But I don't do a lot of emotional showing, except for like anger. But there is a time and place for emotions. And my opinion is generally not at a restaurant. Lotus gave 2 doll hairs. Thank you very much. Lotus said still no points. WTF. What the heck? That is so not right. That is not good. Uh-oh. Elijah said hi. Hello, Elijah. That might be Eli. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. Mike said, guys, mainly it's my brain that's broken. Oh! Broken. Leo Lee said, by the way, 1 million men every year die because they don't open up, just saying. Just remember, June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month and nobody gives a rat's ass. Just remember that. Because if a man opens up and expresses how they feel, everyone says, shut the fuck up, nobody cares, you're a man. Cootie said, Lotus donated, and Maria's number 1. Let's fix this. Good God. For $19.99. And it didn't go up on XP. No. What the hell? What the? Ooh. That in a second. Cootie said, we will have to see about the location. Had a debacle about. I'm on PC. Lotus said he's on PC. That's still weird. Usually you're on PC, aren't you? Cootie said, my boyfriend and his kid and his mother today. Mike said, hi, Floyd, Maria, and Lotus. Rumpel said, Leo. Also, the first flowers a man gets is on the day of his funeral, if he even gets a funeral. Maria said, my dad sent the car to the washing place where they wash cars. Mary said, hello from U.S. in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Well, hello, Mary. Hello from North Carolina, a little small town called Denton. Lotus said, still no points, WTF. Leo Lee said, yes, I agree. Rumpel said, it's the restaurant check. That brings tears to my eyes. Not my fault, Randy. Granted, Rumpel, that does the same thing for me. Jane said, hi, Mary. Leo Lee said, why are women allowed to open up then? Because traditionally men are supposed to be strong and women are supposed to be the more docile of the two. Allowed? If you're allowing somebody to do something and not allowing them, you might want to check on yourself, because humans should not be telling each other what to do like that. I'm not allowing you to do stuff. Lotus said, YouTube really is punishing me. Let's see here. Eli said, yeah, it's Eli or Isla, not Elijah. Okay. Isla. Okay. Let's see. Cootie donated that $19.99 and said Lotus donated and Maria's number 1. Let's fix this. Cootie, you got scammed. You're still number 5. That's bullcrap.
Weird.
Flora said, hi, Mary from Arkansas. Maria's smiling and said, I'm still number 1. Lotus said, damn, didn't work. Cootie said, why no work? I don't know. Lotus and Maria done hacked the system. Hold on, where's Rumpel? I need to call customer support. Flora said, exactly, Randy. Richard said, hey, Randy, now in 30 minutes, we are ready for kickoff in the stadium in New Jersey. Cheer up to my team, Norway. P.S. Row. That's cool as shit. I don't care what nobody says. I think that's cool. Maria said, F you guys, can't beat me. Cootie said, she's scamming. She is. Leo Lee said, exactly. Nobody cares about a man. That's what I mean. It needs to change. Too many young men have died because of that reason, brother. Oh, I agree. But nobody cares. Nobody's going to care. Our Men's Mental Health Awareness Month got kicked out for a damn rainbow. Lotus said, Maria's cheating. She is. Maria said, maybe YouTube wants to make me happy today. They just feel bad because you're going to lose that soccer game. Uncle Charlie said, how is that carnivore diet going? I lost 150 pounds on it. Wow. I found it. I have not had much of a carnivore diet today. I apologize. Lotus said, I want my money back, Maria. Maria said, cheating on your mom, Lotus. She said, I want my money back too, Maria. If you can't be number 1, that's bullshit. Maria's sticking her tongue out. Maria should donate, I don't know, $25 just to keep number 1. Jane said, uh-oh, WWE. Yeah. Cootie said, fraud. Madison said, hi. Hello, Madison. Maria said, Cootie, I'm broke. I don't have any money. Rumpel said, where's WWE? That's Sarah. Jane said, hi, Maddie. Rumpel said, Madison, hello. Cootie said, sounds like you better start getting some Dino Row, my guy. Yeah. Lotus said, that's it, Cootie. We're going to have to go take her chickens. Oh, she going to give you her address, take the chickens. Madison said, hey, Jane. Hey, Rumpel. Cootie said, no, Lotus. We take her cats. That's even better. Jane said, Uncle Charlie or Sarah might be. Oh, really? Let's see, channel activity. Well, Uncle Charlie is definitely matching the timeline too. Just joined a couple months ago. Let's see here. Maria said, buddy, no one cares if you cry. If a man afraid of crying in public, then cry in your room when no one is watching. See, that right there. That right there. She just said it exactly right. Buddy, no one cares if you cry. No, nobody cares. Madison said it's storming really bad. Apparently it's supposed to be pretty gnarly. It's still clear skies here, but I imagine it's coming south. Maria said there's nothing sexier than seeing man crying. Weirdo. Rumpel said, oh wow, I have something in common with Maria. I'm broke too. Me too! Maria's laughing. AN said Count Von Count was finally decided to count again. Okay. Listen, Maria lying to you, she going to laugh at you. Oh, 100%. I mean, knowing what I know about her by the internet, she'd laugh at your ass. Russia said, greetings from Russia, greetings from America land, North Carolina. Leo said, USA is winning the World Cup and they're going to have to call it soccer. Lotus said, Maria bot blocked us, apparently. Rumpel said, well, I'm dipping out early, got some plans tomorrow, catch y'all on the flip side. Toodles! See you, Rumpel, thanks for coming in, buddy. Maria said, come take my cat, and says she's number one with looks like toenails being painted. Lotus said, here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, chow mein, beef and broccoli. Cootie said, did you block Lotus, Maria? OMFG. Jane said, where's our favorite bot? She started in earlier. Rumpel said 13 and 25. Rumpel will take over. Lotus said, no, she didn't actually block me. Cootie said, Alexis, clearly Jane. Carlos said, Maria, Iraq is never going to win a FIFA World Cup, period. And Italy didn't even qualify. Bloody disgrace to Paparenzo and all Italians. Maria said, because no one cared when I cried, do you think everyone should give you attention just because you showed normal emotions? Remember that. Remember that. No, I don't think crying should get you anything special. My opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Lord is now taking over. It's at 1721. Daryl said R3. Hello, Daryl. At Metal Art Customs LLC. Lotus said, hey, Daryl. Jane said, take care, Rumpel. Florida is saluting Mac. Madison made it to her parents. Carlos fist pounding Daryl. Jane said, hey, Daryl. Lotus said, sweet and sour cat. Meow. Daryl said, Lotus, big. Rumpel said, Jane, later, take care. Maria said, Pop's favorite bot isn't here yet. No, she was here. She was like the fourth one here. Daryl said, Jane. Richard said, hit the like. I appreciate it, Richard. Yes, he was Madison saying. Said, past trees down and lots of limbs down. If trees are down, I'm out. A&F said Oscar from Sesame Street pulls bad people into his trash can and it's annoying. And is annoying. Okay. Daryl said Rumpel. Cootie said I'm going to go crazy. Me no number one. Me mad. You are number one in our eyes. You gave the 1999. I don't understand why it's not putting you to number one. Florida said 1822. Maria said no, please don't cry R3. Send me your home address to send you tissue. 8675309 Sesame Street. Lotus said it's Maria's fault. Florida said I like turtles. Leo Lisa, did you hear that them Scott are drinking Boston Dry and the Brits drinking Texas? Or Brits drinks Texas? I'm guessing them British and Scottish people have nothing in England but about to drink. I think they're enjoying some American food too. Florence in 2022. That was 4 years ago. Damn, that was 4 years ago. Listen, I'm surprised she didn't send you a bottle to send back so she can feast on the tears of your sorrow. No kidding. Maurice, I feel like I can be really mean tonight. I'm super mad because of the heat and because the second part of the game starts after 10 minutes and I don't know what's going to happen. One team's going to win, one team's going to lose. Daniel said, yo, yo, ho. A&F said, Clown Bobbin likes to chew gum and gets upset when it doesn't taste good. Alright. Maria said, if Iraq win, all people who said otherwise own me apology. Pass. Carlos said, you're going to lose, Maria. Maria said, start from me. Leo Lee said, they're not going want to go back. We're so great, aren't we? Well, apparently, a lot of stuff has gone on with this whole, them coming over here, which I'm all for. They're realizing that they're part of bad stuff involved with, basically they've been lied to. So just remember that. Lois said, your team is cursed. They're going to lose now. Yep. Maria said, Carlo, let's not rush things. No kidding. OBS. Resto said, just joining in, getting a 80 GMC crew cab shell prepped for paint. Did major rust repair on it. Damn, an 80 GMC crew cab. That's awesome. That's going to be cool as hell. But, appreciate you popping in. Lotus said, sweet OBS. Maria said, Lotus is rage baiting me. Range baiting me. Range is like what you go shoot at or you cook on. Careful. It's rage. R-A-G-E. Cootie said, it said your internet is to blame for the connection. Go donations. You know, I would believe that, Cootie. This storm coming in, the internet's definitely slower. A&F said doesn't like being woken up. Okay. Leo Lee said, oh, I forgot there was school, you know what, today? Oh, really? I bet you if they stopped talking about it on the news and making it all famous, I bet people would stop wanting to do it. Carlos said, France is a World Cup champion team, Maria. Iraq don't stand a chance. It's just a Ray. He said, hello, or hey and hello. I cook steak for dinner, and everyone is welcome to come over. I'm on my way. I heard that there's some food in our crock pot, but I'm on my way. Maria said, rage. Okay. Yes, good job, Maria. Lotus said, maybe. Maria said, sorry, ice cream man. You tempt me, I'll go get an ice cream right now. Lotus said, I got to get my $2 worth. OBS said, maybe I'll post a video on this truck I'm building for a customer. Hey, that would be cool. I'd love to see it. Maria said, y'all ain't real friends if you're not going to support my team. Hey, I'm all for it. All right. I don't care who wins or who loses, but if you're pulling for them, I say they got it. Daryl said 1 hour and 2 minutes tonight. All right. Cootie said, well, I have extra jewels. I don't know if that's counting either because Lewis Mower sent 200 jewels and I don't even see them on the leaderboard. Let's see here. Yeah, there's only 13 people shown on the leaderboard. And Lewis Mowers is not one of them either. So be careful. You do what you want though. Jane said hi to Ray. OBS said 80 GMC crew cab, full load, 89 Suburban interior, 454 fuel injection, 4-speed manual, 4x4, single wheel, 1 ton, cold air conditioning. Wow. Yeah, that's well worth working on that. That's awesome. 89 Suburban interior is even cooler. But that 454 with the 4-speed and 4x4, golly. And it said, beer beaten gets angry if the innkeeper doesn't bring him his beer immediately. Otherwise, he starts juggling people around. Okay. Daryl said, no game is worth my time. All right. Cootie said, yeah, it's all wacky. Yeah, it is. It's just Ray said, Jane, you're just amazing and a sweetheart to talk to. Lotus said, I still have 0 points. Cootie said 0 points. Yeah, I'm not understanding. It's only showing 13 people on the leaderboard. Jane said, thanks to Ray. Mike said, Wandon Hall, you doing? I'm just sitting around on my behind. Ray said, I only watch football when our team plays. As I growing up, I remember we only watched football or basketball when Carolina was playing. Daryl sent a star for 2 jewels. Well, thank you. Cootie said, damn, yeah, it be messing up. It is definitely messing up. Lotus said, can anybody post a link to OBS on here? I was going to get it for you, but Daryl got it for you. Ray said, well, at least even if we lose, I won't be sad because it's the first time playing in 40 years, and we played against the hardest team ever. That's the way to look at it, Maria. Win or lose or draw. It's the first time in 40 years you got to play, and they're a hell of a team. If you lose, you can just improve. Even if you win, you can improve. Flord said 100 for 2 jewels. Thank you very much. Jane said Robert is second. Yeah, it says Maria's first, Robert second, and Boston Bill's third. But 1st through 7th is all tied for first place with 75 XP. I don't understand what's going on. Daryl sent the link to OBS's channel. OBS and Lotus, I haven't posted any videos on it yet. Carlos and Maria, Paparenzo says Iraq cannot beat France. They are just playing for the honor of for Iraq. Maria says, I'm just happy because Iraq people are happy. We deserve to be happy, even if it's something silly as soccer. Again, that's the way to look at it. And it's just like we were talking about, like the emotion stuff earlier. Just because I might not understand something does not mean that it's not legitimate. What's that? Mike sent a park the bus for 1,000 jewels. Thank you very much. But no, you deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. I mean, even if it's something as silly as soccer, or something as silly as doing a burnout in my car where I broke the damn thing. Team Richardson hitting the like. Row. Alexis said hi. There's Alexis. Lotus said, get to it, OBS. Florida said 1623. That's the year I was born. Mike said, I'm going to keep yammering and catch up. Hold on. Y'all give me a minute. All right. Erwin said, howdy. Hello, Erwin. Mike sent that park the bus for 1,000 jewels. Again, thank you, Mike. Cootie said, I'm going to cry. Don't you cry. Don't you cry no more. You're first place. Look, just squint hard enough. You're first place. Daryl said they can improve by changing to automotive sports. Yeah. Like, who can swap a motor quicker? Lotus said, you should check out Metal Art Customs LLC OBS. He does a lot of resto stuff, too. Jane said, hi, Mike. Maria said, because since we were kids, all families sit together and watch football games. It means a lot to us. And that's what matters. If it makes you happy, screw what everybody else thinks. Just leave kids alone. It's just a race and a party hat for 20 jewels. Mike retracted his message. Maria said, I'm still one. Jane said, hi, Erwin. Daryl said, Mike. Erwin said, hey, Jane. Alexa said, 20 and 23. Mike said, hi, Daryl. Lotus said, cheater. Daryl said, thanks, Lotus. Mike said, dang it, between the doggone chat races and me fighting with this AI. Jane said, there's our bot. Lotus said, always, Daryl. Florida said, hi, Alexis. OBS said, I'll post a slideshow video on the 80 for now, then start doing videos if people are interested. Hey, there you go. A man told us when we were very young in this whole YouTube thing, post everything that you do. Because people always want to watch stuff. And you throw enough shit at a wall, eventually something will stick. Brenda said, only legends can be number 1. Oh, shit. Why are you number 1? Jane said, dog, bird, and elephant. I like elephants. Florida said, 18 and 24. Carlos said, you are a legend, Maria. Maria said, I want to leave, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose number 1. You're welcome to stay, but I don't know if they're going to change tonight. A&F said, my neighbor Gunther is always getting yelled at by his wife Edna because he hasn't watered the flowers. Well, maybe one day she'll water them. Jane said, OBS has 80 subs and no videos. Woo! That's pretty awesome. Lotus said, legend in her own mind. That's exactly right. It's just a race, and don't bother your puppy, but when you see him, can you please tell him that I say hello and how are you? Shit, what you talking about? Don't bother him. Hey, Kane, come here, buddy. It's just a race, says, hey, How are you? You dang dirty thing. What you doing? Yeah. Alright. You letting all the hot air out. Hot air in. Mike said the only thing I can get to stick to the wall is shit. Florida, did you shake your head at me? No. feel like Jenny's come in and said plenty of stupid shit before, but I don't know what's going on. Maria said, Jane, I sent you the image of Cat on Instagram. Cootie said, I ate the F out of the hamburgers. I should really go get me another cheeseburger. Carla said, bullshitism. Lotus said, Mother Nature is watering the flowers today. Exactly. Jane said, oh. Lotus said, hey, Randy, got a horse. Nay. ANF said, do you know what KNAF means? I do not. OBS said, no videos because I'm just did a channel name starting over. Oh, okay. I'm back with you. Alexa 2123 and hi. Hello again, Alexis. Floor said, I broke him. You did break me. Fuck. Don't you do this to me. Don't you freaking do this to me. Are we still on here? Okay, Cootie said we're fine on her end. Okay. I apologize for that then. Getting just a moderately bit frustrating on it. Because as you can see, the computer's locked up and so is my phone. Fucking Verizon charges me a damn premium rate and still doesn't work. Oh, well, Florida, it's on my phone too. It's not working and I'm not even connected to Wi-Fi. I'll try connecting to Wi-Fi, see if it does anything. Let's see here. OBS said I got too heavy into politics, so revamping gave me some time videos to come. Alright. Alexa 2323, Jenny said, Cat, got your tongue, my last message. No, I just don't know what the hell happened. I remember seeing plenty of your messages in the past. And, I mean, generally speaking, your messages get screwed up because YouTube even says, you shouldn't be sending those messages. So I'm not sure what's going on. But, I mean, not sure what's happening, but I'm sure you said something because the old man usually just doesn't get mad at people and tell you to bug off. Jane said, okay, Maria, I'll look. Cootie said, it's great weather to be honest, nothing but rain. Everyone was freaking out about the severe weather, but it hit, and I was like, is this really it? So used to Tornado Alley weather. Yeah, apparently it's coming down here. A&F said, do you know the song about old Halt's Michael? I do not. GT Fanboy said, guess who came back to shit? I have not seen you in here in a little while. Brandon said, okay, bye. You can have number one. Okay, bye. Lotus and Randy, have you visited your horse friends lately at the farm? Not at their house. I went Saturday to a Father's Day dinner with them. But I have not visited the horses. I don't care for horses. Cootie said, you're fine on my end. Thank you. Staying off the grid said, have a wonderful night, everyone. Even though I am almost out of dip and no one is donating to my show life, is good because I am clean shaven and straight. And as always, gay, bearded, homosexual. Lotus said, we're still here. Okay. OBS said, yep, you still here. Floor said, yes, it's just your PC. Our internet's going in and out, apparently. So y'all don't look for a video too soon tomorrow. Jane said, hey, off the grid. Alexa said, hi, 18 and 23. Staying off the grid said, hey to Jane. Lotus said, you're fine on my end. Well, thank you very much. Jane said, OBS, lesson learned, no politics. You ever want to mess something up, you start talking about politics because people get butt hurt very quickly. Daryl said, I just ate 14 candy bars for my evening snack. There you go. OBS said, Jane's lessons not learned. Don't get me started on politics. I just want to limit politics on my channel and focus on trucks. Well, OBS, that's kind of how we are here. I don't care to talk about politics. In person, I have been known to talk about it. But sometimes my opinions get people upset. Cootie said, no chip. Jay said, 14 candy bars. Dinner? Jenny said, I'm saying you had a hissy fit. Last time I came on, I was only having a crack with your dad, and your dad a top bloke, but for some reason you just had a hissy fit with my messages. I hope you're in a better mood. That is all. Aye. Okay. Florida said diabetes. Type 2, no onset diabetes. Lotus said, damn, Daryl, we talking full size or bite size? Daryl said, Florida, it's called hypoglycemia. Jay said, hopefully bite size. ANF said, Squackenberger hits like the bartender with the mug when a waitress again says there's too little beer in the mug. Sounds like somebody gets hit hard.
Hope nobody breaks in and robs you right here with it.
No,
I mean, it's not like I'm outside protecting you.
you ain't. Madison says it's storming like hell up there. She
Yeah,
passed
well,
down trees and all.
I just got 2 calls from
You gotta go to work?
5:30 in the morning, yes.
F that. Hey, Florida said hi. Daryl said bite size, but now I'm going for Captain Crunch before my premiere starts. That sounds yummy. Alexis said hi. Hello again, Alexis. You know what? Tomorrow's video is going to be a short one. As in, it's going to be like a 10-minute video. If the internet's doing this bad on just the live, there ain't no telling how bad it's going to do tomorrow. See, I was just...
Thank you for watching our
There we go. File, save, export. 06222026, enter. And then we got to make sure we take it off of VR and export. There we go. Let's see here. Cootie said, had issues with my ex constantly because he always wanted to talk politics, put a real stiff in our relationship. Let me tell you, if you want a good relationship, shut that frick up about politics. That's why we don't talk about politics on here, Cootie. Everybody has their opinion, and everybody's welcome to their opinion. All right? My opinion might be different than yours, and it might be close to the same. Never know. But my friendship with people should not be dictated on my political beliefs. Neither should religious beliefs. My opinion. Again, my opinion, take it for what it's worth. But you are exactly right. You ever want to lose a friend, there's 3 ways to do it. Lend them money, talk religion, and talk politics. So, I'm not big on it. I'm a firm believer that politicians do what's best for them. Flora said, bye, Pops. He went to get milk. He'll be back. You good?
I'm just trying to get everything put up so I can take over for you.
Okay. You gonna put your car up here?
I gotta move my black truck.
Oh, you put your truck up here. Lotus said, damn, eat some real food, old man. She said, basically you play that song last time saying you didn't give a F word on song. Oh! So you were probably saying something that, trying to tell me something or trying to tell me to do something. Okay. You mean this song? I like that song. I like that song a lot. A&F said the beer master directs the people around when it comes to beer. Sounds like. Alexa said 18 and 25. Lotus said funny. It's bad on your end, but looks perfect for us. Well, that's what matters, as long as it's working for y'all. Cootie said, agreed, Lotus. Alexa said, yes. Dog, hi. And Deluxe up said, hi, Daddy. Sup, son. Florida said, the milkman. Hashtag, he gone. He gone. JH7 said, hello, hunkering down in the closet for rotating storm over my town. So it's not tornado warned, but just being warned. Oh, that didn't sound good. Did you forget the brakes? That hurt my ears. You know he was sitting there. Damn, Cootie. Oh. JH said he's hunkering down. No tornado warning, but just being more cautious than ever. Hey, being cautious never hurt. Cootie said begged him all the time to stop talking about it, but it got worse when he joined a Discord with people on the same mindset. He just wouldn't shut up about Charlie Kirk and Trump and all that. Again, I don't think that's something that should be ruling a relationship. I think there's a lot more we can talk about than that stuff. And I don't like when people die or people think it's a good idea to try to kill each other. But my mindset, these people will never know that I exist. Why should I give a rat's ass about that? My opinion. J7 said, that song sounds like some of the drivers I come across, aka Good Evening Unicorn. Yeah. Hello, JH. Obi says, all politicians are crooks, and it's just what crook would you rather have rip you off? Lotus said, that's his new theme song. Oh, absolutely. Jane said, hi, JH. Alexa said, a bunch of dogs. JH said, jeez.
None of the footage is probably any good. It was saying no SD card.
Oh, really?
So probably everything you just did on your car and everything's probably gone.
Showing it's got an SD card now, and it's on 360.
But it just kept telling me no SD card wouldn't record.
Well, it worked
nothing.
on the car.
Okay.
Just showing it worked.
But it wasn't for me.
So y'all get no footage of the skid steer work today. Hey! Cootie said at least his tires moved.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Man,
Did you hear it go in gear? It went kloosh. I'm like, yeah, that didn't sound good.
That's in cheap Chinese in blocks.
Yeah, they're coming straight from Summit Racing. Yeah, Cootie, at least his damn tires moved. Fucking bullshit. Mine started to move. JH about jumped out of my couch. Alexa sent some dogs. Cootie's laughing. OBS said, nice. OBS, if you weren't aware, I broke mine yesterday. Yesterday. Alexa sent some red balloons. ANF said the stick isn't worth more than like 80 euros. Okay. Lotus said, OBS, where are you from? Tree broke the fence. Oh, damn, that's not good. Horses out! Horses out! Carlos said gay bearded homosexuals. Jane said, JH, you got spinners up ahead? Lotus said, Ohio here. JH said, fidget spinners, Jane. I wish it was that. Cootie said, that's what I told him. Like, why do you bother your life with the updates to them when they could give a flying fudge if you lived or died? Just never wrap my head around it. Here's how I see this. Not even a year ago, that tree hit me. And let's say that tree killed me. Who would have given a rat's ass that tree killed me? A couple people on here probably would have cared. Dad would have, my wife, my brothers, a couple family members that, we may or may not talk to. But these people that act like they care about the John Q. public and the average Joe, you think they would have ever given a shit about me dying from that? Or they would have remembered my name or knew my name for the first time ever? Nope. These people would not have cared if that tree would have killed me. And that is my opinion on. I don't want people to have a premature death by any means, and I don't think we should be actively trying to take other people's lives. But I mean, if somebody in here passes, like Bucky, he died. That stings. All right, he was a long time watcher, and he passed. Annabelle was his fiance. She comes in every now and again, but that's horrible. I mean, he was young. He was my age. So, something like that, you think these people knew his name? Nope. Think these people ever think twice about the name Bucky because somebody they knew passed? Nope. They don't care about us. JH said, but yeah, I'm hanging in there, Jane. Alex said, highs, 18 and 27, high and some dogs. And ANF said Ludwig Major from Bavaria walked from Germany to Rome using only his hands. You can look it up online. Wow. Lotus said, yeah, I miss chatting with Bucky. I do too. I miss the Bigfoot stories. And that's the thing. We know these people. We never met them in person, but we know them from the internet. And the fact that they're no longer here, it is bothersome. But you think these people who act like they care about the John Q. Public will ever know his name? Because it's not some kind of major news story because it gets some votes? Nope. They don't care. They couldn't care less that somebody died. That's just my opinion. And so, I mean, me and my wife don't talk politics. Whenever I said something about voting one time, she said, I've never voted. Now, granted, she has never voted. We pulled up and we went to vote, and they pulled up and said, oh, well, the last X amount of elections, you voted this way. She said, I am, let's see, I forget how old she was. But 2 of the elections that she supposedly voted in, she wasn't even 18. So how did she vote? So again, y'all think about that one for a second. It doesn't matter if you vote or not, and it doesn't matter if what you believe. They'll make something happen. And again, they won't know your name. Lotus said voting is a scam. It is the illusion of choice. It's, in my opinion, it's, I'm going to give you a choice. And you're going to tell me your choice. And I'm going to do whatever I want anyway. But I agree, I think voting is a scam. ANF said at the Koppenfeigen house, we have a word for something that's nonsense. We could simply call it brittle. Okay. Lotus said whoever wins is the one who cheats better. Yep. And whoever pays off the most people. Carlos said it's compulsory to vote in an election in Australia. Well, again, it's the illusion of choice. I think if you want to make a difference, try. I mean, at least then you can say you tried. But it doesn't matter who you want to vote for. You have the right to vote who you want. Cootie said, y'all wait till you hear about me talking about trying to inform my ex about my belief system. Boy broke down crying and was insulting me heavily. Thank God I left him. Sounds like a good decision. Your belief system may differ from ours, and we might not understand it. But that's okay. It's not our belief system, and we can respect it. Just leave kids alone. I'm looking at you, WWE. Fucking pedo. Lex said 1327 and high. Would you like half of the half of it?
No, you eat that damn cookie.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy it. I'm not even going to be mean when you told me you hoped I choked, but I hope you enjoy it. get the hell out of the way if you're just gonna sit there and eat.
Oh, I'm just gonna let you get behind now.
It don't matter. I'll catch up.
Where you at? Right there where Pop said hi, Pops.
But where Pops said hi, Pops. Who's Pops?
Florida said hi, Pops.
Oh, good God. Alright, Ryan says, I'm back. Sorry, I had a friend stop by. I had to give him some guppies. Alright. Carlo said, what's up, Pops? Hello, Carlo and Papa Renzo. Whoop, whoop.
I'm knocked over here, nutty buddies.
That's all right, just pick them up.
I don't want to do that.
Jane said, hey, hi, Pops. Hello, Jane. Ryan says, hey, R2. Hello, Ryan. Mike says, hey, hi, Ryan. Lotus said, it's talking about politics, still about talking about politics.
Is talking about politics, still talking about politics.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard him in the bathroom. I was going to holler out now that the buck stops here. No more politics. Jane says, bye, R.
See you, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. Remember, y'all like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Say if these two idiots can do it, we can too. And don't be so serious about life. Life's short. They're talking in a different language, so it is a little hard to
they
read
always
the stuff.
do. Sometimes if I can't figure it out, I just let everybody else figure it out.
Yep. Maria's number 1. Cootie gave 19.99 and Lotus gave 2.
Now,
And none of their positions changed. Lotus is still showing 0 XP, and Cootie's still showing 75.
and Maria's more.
Yeah, Maria's number 1.
Ryan said, hey, Mike, and Ryan said, later, R3.
Maria said Iraq is playing France in the FIFA World Tournament for soccer, and they're losing 1-0. I said, we all are going to lose.
God dang.
So,
And I do not have a slightest idea what all those words are. I apologize. If anybody can figure it out, they can read it. Sorry.
goodbye.
Maria said, oh, shit, I'm done with this. Jane said, R3. Florida said, see you later, R3. Mike said, 12-minute excavator video comes out in about 18 minutes. All right. Cootie said, Maria, the chat is so screwed. Lotus said, a little tongue twister there. Looked like it. Ryan said, what's wrong, Maria? AJ says, hello, everyone. Hello. OBS says, just posted a few pics on the 80s. All right. Lotus said, I'm still 0 XP. How could Cootie get 75? I have no idea. Damn no. YouTube. Floyd said, hi, Maria. Or W. Maria, I guess that's welcome. Jane said, hi, AJ. Carlos said later, R3. Maria said, we're definitely the worst team ever. It's 2-0 now. Alexis said, hi. Hello, Alexis. Maria's got her upside down smiley faces again. Lotus says, give me back my $2, Maria. Cootie said, I've been 75 since around half an hour in the beginning of chat. Lotus has been 75 since I donated. Lotus said, I curse them. Give me back my $2. I'll uncurse them. Maria says, shut up, Lotus. If you need your money, just ask this bald man to give it back to you. Yeah, it's in the mail. AJ says, hello, Jane. Lotus says, no, you took it. Alexa says, balloons. And man, if I had a couple pieces of chewing gum right beside that, balloon gum, be good. AN said, Uncle Franz once cut off his finger with a saw, and every time someone asked him why his finger is short, he said he cut it off because he thought it was too long. All right. Alexa says, balloons again. Ryan said, so what's the fascination with football? I've never been down to any sort of sport. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the big hoo-ah on all that football stuff. No sports, to be honest with you. Carlos says, ooh, Evan, I feel nice. Want some Lotus better than being stoned. Okay. Lotus, Alexa said yes, and Maria said bad glasses, by the way. How did I know that's what somebody would say? Nothing's ever good enough. Lotus said no pills. Alexa said I, and OBS says only sport I like to watch is AMA motocross. I ride. I've been broken my fair share of bones, lots of hospital stays. I mean, I've watched a little bit of motocross. I like riding. I haven't rode in quite a while, but even racing, you know, I really like it and stuff. Now I like to watch burnouts, but I still don't get into a big thing about it. And I'd love to go see the Australians do their burnout. Those jokers can do some burnouts, buddy. Cootie said RC pills is overrated. Here they are laced with fentanyl. AN said today I saw old woman Michael and he's still alive. All right. Oh, Wooden Michael, sorry. Florida said fish catching is a sport. I'll fish, but I'm not watching somebody fish. Bria said no, wait. Ryan said, nah, I like cars and barely watch anything beyond the YouTube channels. That's about the size of what I do. I do watch the race with Chester, but it's not to watch the race. It's to be with Chester. It's kind of like being with my papa, you know, just sitting there with the old man enjoying time. And I think he enjoys it. He comes up here to be with us, and I like to be with him. And that's I tell everybody the same thing. You want to be a part of us, you know where we're at. And he does ask all the time about the YouTube, and he's a good guy. Chris said you're wearing the good glasses today. Yes, these are the ones I carry to work. My glasses that you don't like is in the truck. I didn't walk out there and get them. Sorry, I didn't notice. Maria said, good glasses, Randy. Carlos said, I think Maria should use some Advin. I don't know what that is. Jenny Thong said, thank God, a real man. The way you read the message is absolutely brilliant. You've been a good sense of humor, and you are very nice and humble. And have you been watching the World Cup? Thank you, Jenny. I have not watched the World Cup. The only thing I've got anything to do with World Cup is I stopped at McDonald's the other day and bought the World Cup meal, and it come with a cup. That's the closest I've done to any kind of World Cup. Mike said not much on sports either. I used to like NASCAR, but they became too woke. Yep, that's when 96 when Randy was born. I think I got every car that was in little Matchbox cars. I think I got every car that was on the track that year, and I got them put up. But after that, it kind of started going downhill for me, and I did not pull for Dale Earnhardt, but when he passed away, that kind of killed the sport, if you ask me. Cootie said I'm very inebriated, drunk. Cootie said, where is Curly? Cootie said, I demand refund for not being number one. Sorry, check's in the mail. I put yours and Lotus's check in the mail at the same time. OBS said my longest stretch in hospital was 9 weeks. Broke left leg 3 different places. Bones came through skin. Was badass. If you're going to break a bone, you best do an impressive job at it. Yeah, that is it. That's the size of it. Luckily, knock on wood, I've never spent the night in the hospital. I've never had a broken bone that I know of. You know, I stumped my toe and say it's broken. I'm sure I broke that little part right there when I fell back in the winter storm, but I'm still using it, and I never went to the doctor. But let's see. Carlos said my Evan is legit. I use it for my GAD. AN said beer beating gets very upset if the innkeeper doesn't bring him his beer immediately and starts juggling people. Mike said, yes, Chester is a good guy and pretty funny also. Yes, he does ask about you and Ryan all the time. Lotus said, wow, OBS, no one can say you didn't send it. Ryan said, agree, I like Chester. Alexa said, hi. Lotus says, don't cover her debts. Alexa says, 14. Hyper said, Tiger uppercut. Alexa said hi, and OBS says, yep, used to love NASCAR. My dad and me used to watch the Daytona 500 back in the 90s and early 2000s. Missed the 90s and the early 2000s. That was probably not necessarily watching a race. It's just being with your dad, and that your dad being with you, that's probably meant more than the race itself. Mike said, yes, I wasn't an Earnhardt fan, but I do believe it became way too corporate after his death. Not that that had anything to do with it. No, just timing. Timing, just that's where it went to shit. Lotus said, we're going to repo her cats. Lake said 28 and 12. And you know something? I have no clue where my phone is. Damn. Cootie said, Lotus, how dare you? LOL Pops, you got to think about checking cash fees too. Yeah, check cashing fees, yeah. Alex said 28. Lotus said, how dare I? What? Mike said, Lotus, the shipping cost on the cat repo is going to be more than it's worth. OBS said, Lotus, one up. Country Boy Outdoors said, this is the project done when you run out of money to spend on it? Nope. You just keep dreaming of what you do when you get another dollar. Florida said, most sports are soap operas. That is the truth. Lotus said, it's the principle of the thing loan. Cootie said, me calling it. I am calling your Snapchat. Maria said, oh shit. Alexa says 18. Alexa said hi. And Maria said it's 3-0 now. Maria's crying. Jane said, did you give Daryl a like? It's your nightly reminder. I did not. Let me, well, yep, Randy done it. Ryan said, no, Country Boys is Paul's, Country Boys is Paul's project at that point. OBS said, my dad passed last year, 58 years old. He died suddenly. We haven't talked since 2016. I went off the rails, and when I was a young cat, but remember them Daytona races with him. Sorry to hear that. Lex says 30. AN said at Oktoberfest, the innkeeper hits a customer with a mallet, if a server says there is too little beer in the mug. Alexis got clouds and sunshine. Cootie said if you can't hear it, it's not in the room. I'm about sure it's in the truck. I was going to get caught up and walk out there and see before it starts raining and make sure I hadn't left it out in the rain somewhere. When I'm here, I don't really worry about that phone. Lotus said, when you're out of money, the project is on hold or maybe up for sale. Maria said, why you think YouTube want me to be number one today? I don't know. Lex says 15, 14, 30. Mike said, I tried to call your phone. Obviously, you haven't it on mute or it's in another room. I'm about sure I don't keep mine on mute. I'm about sure it's in the truck right out there. I'll walk out there and check it in just a second. Carlos said, Lotus, my MUGEN MT12 engine is going to be delivered today. Lotus said, I just want you to feel special, Maria. Curious because it might know I might be sad about your team losing, Maria. Adam said, what's up, y'all? Hello, Adam. Lotus said, Carlo. Cool, Carlo. Alexis said 16 and 30. AN says, have you ever been to Oktoberfest? I have not. Carlos said, thanks, Lotus. Lotus said, it's been one legit bandit. What's up, Adam? Adam said, Lotus, Ryan said, hey, Adam, Maria said, those men don't know how to play. Mike said, hi, Adam. Let me check something right quick. Yep, it was out there in the truck. When I got in the truck, pulled it in. I laid it in the seat and didn't pick it back up. Let me see if I can get over here and give myself a like. What do y'all think? Boop, there we go. All right, let's see. Cootie said, Oktoberfest is basically a big beer drinking festival. Well, I definitely wouldn't fit in there. Alex says 13 and 30 and said hi. OBS said hit those hi to those joining in. Lotus said is that the rain I hear? No, it's not raining yet. AN said I heard the thunder, so I figured it was coming. AN said would you like to go to Barfin Folk Festival, and do you think 16 euros for a liter of beer is expensive? I would go to the festival just to be able to see it, see what's going on. I don't know how much 16 euros is, so I don't know if that's expensive or not. I wouldn't buy it because I don't drink beer, but if you want one, I guess. Alex says 15 and 30. Lotus said, sounds like it's coming down. It's not raining. Lotus says, show us the rain. I'll show you, but yeah, see, it's not raining. Hello, rain! Look at old boat. Boy, I can't wait till I get it painted. Let's see. Let's see. Matthew said, it's summer, too hot to have a bonfire. I like Oktoberfest, said Ryan. And Lake says thunderstorms. Lotus said Oktoberfest has a good German food, too. Said, I like beer. Goody said, Lotus, you are hearing things. Matthew Owen said, I have one every other night, regardless. I've been taking my shot of Grey Goose before I go to bed. I don't like drinking the Grey Goose after I've eaten my ice cream, but I usually eat my food and my ice cream and then take a shower and then take my shot of Grey Goose right before I go to sleep. It does help me sleep. Lotus said, maybe the voices are messing with me. Matthew Stump said, Matthew, hell yeah. Mike said, Lotus, where's the Oktoberfest at? Matthew Owens said, take the boat out. I'm trying to get ready. I've got to get it ready for the 4th. I think if I can get it to work right, I'm going to go live with y'all and let y'all watch the fireworks on the 4th of July. Alexa said hi, and OBS said it's raining here in West Central Shakalaka, Canada. Cutie said, ooh, I'm not much for the Oktoberfest, but I've always wanted to attend the Wave Go King Terfin looks sick AF. Matthew Stump said, Matthew, hell yeah. Matthew Owen says, I got a rager going on. OBS said, I love cold beer. I tell you what. Y'all make it look good, I'll tell you. Now, when I decided I was going to try it, because I didn't drink nothing until I was 38. But y'all make it look so damn good drinking that beer, but that shit tastes like horse piss. Well, I'm imagining because I've never tasted horse piss either. But Lotus said, Muncie, Germany is where the real Oktoberfest is, but every major city in the U.S. has a Oktoberfest. Alexa said hi. Matthew Owens said, that's what we do. We go out on my dad's houseboat and watch fireworks. That's what I plan on doing. I want to get on mine and get it where I can put it in the water and go out there and spend a couple hours live and watch the fireworks. Alexa says 11:34, 11:35. Yeah, I'm showing 10 and 35. Thank you. Cootie said, Matthew, what exactly is a Rager? R-A-G-E-R, Rager. Owen said, Rager is a huge fire. Oh, like a bonfire. Lotus said, I'm with you, Pops. Never liked the taste of beer. Cootie said, Munich. That's close enough. Yeah. Y'all know what you said. OBS said I'm going to do a custom airbrush paint job on my 60s booth shop fridge with might do this winter. Might do some how-to videos on that. That'd be cool. Alexa said 10, 35 and said hi. Matthew Owen says, or you could call it a barn burner. Yeah, just don't burn the barn. Lotus said that sounds fun. Cootie said we just call it a bonfire, Matthew. Yes, some people take it serious too. They stack up a bunch of pallets and lean trees and stuff. They get big fires going. But I am piling up a bunch of shit here, cleaning this property. We're gonna have a big bonfire, all right. I'm making dang pile, trying to get everything in one pile and then clear it all around it, so I ain't got to worry about the fire jumping. Matthew Owen said hot dog cooker 3000. That's right. Alexa said 9 and high. Yeah, we dropped all the way down to 9. I don't think everybody likes me as much as they do Randy. 35. He didn't do something right though. We only got 35 yesterday. He ended up with 50. I think we ended up with 53 yesterday. It showed 54, but once, of course, for whatever reason, they always take that one away. Cootie said my boyfriend jumped through one and his clumsy butt fell in the flames. It's all good though. Boy is tougher than nails. You know, a lot of people do that. They jump through a fire and end up falling right back in it. Usually the alcohol has something to do with it. They don't want to spill their beer. Matthew, I didn't say that was his problem. I just said most of the time. Matthew Owen said 10-4. OBS said you need propane and propane accessories for that bonfire, or you'll piss off Hank and Strictly no shit. Alexa says 8:35, and Matthew Owen said I saw a dumb biker at Bike Week in Daytona tried to jump the fire and fell in. You saw a dumb biker? I guarantee there was a bunch of them. Maybe that was the only one that fell in, but damn. Alexa says 9, 13, 14. And Cootie said the beer was within him, LMAO. That's usually the way it goes. Alexa says 14, 36. I wonder. I bet you Randy did not go pick up the other guy, that last name. It was done today. I bet you he forgot to go pick it up. The other members, I got to do some changing on the wall to put the other member back up. Put the other member up. Matthew Owen said, why is Alexis counting? Alexis lets me know how many people are in the chat and how many thumbs up we got. She knows I like to watch it on my phone. So, Alexis lets me know so I don't have to watch my phone all the time. OBS says I can be a dumb biker on my dirt bike. Don't we all do some dumb shit every once in a while? It sounded good in our head, but once we put it to action, it wasn't quite as good as we thought. And when you always thought, damn, I should have known better than do that. Cootie said I finished the canvas today, Pops. Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Matthew Owen said, oh. A lot of people say that Alexis is a bot, but they don't really understand Alexis takes care of me. puts the numbers up there, and she'll play around with a couple 3-letter words. And she has commented on a couple of our videos, so me and her both know she's not a bot. Cootie said they look so darn good, but they definitely more unreadable. And Matthew, ignore her. She's a bot, but Pops doesn't believe me. Alex said 14 at 36. Mike said, here, hold my beer and watch this. Famous last words. That's a redneck's last words right there. Hey, y'all, hold my beer and watch this. Cootie said AI had taken control. OBS said, I'm getting rusty and at jumping my bike, getting big air. Want to get a picture of me and a video of me jumping over my OBS once. It's painted, but I'm 35. Got to slow down at this age, they say. They say you got to slow down. Matthew Owens said, speak of the devil. I have a 94 Chevy long bed OBS Chevy. We got a 94, I believe it is. OBS says, I love beer, but beer and bikes don't mix. Nope. Alex says 11 to 36. Matthew Owens said, watch my beer is said before they end up in the hospital. Yep. Cootie said, at least she hasn't blocked you yet for calling her out, Matthew. OBS said, I love OBS trucks as much as beer. Cootie, has Alexis blocked you, really? Matthew says, I think the 350 Chevy is the best stock work truck engine for pickups. Cootie said, yes. Now Alexis, what's 2 plus 2? So, see, if Alexis was a bot, they wouldn't block you. Matthew Owens said, most reliable, I know that. That has been a good motor for many years. OBS said I should get Arco from Outlaw Customs on here. Yeah. Get anybody. We'd be glad to talk to them and get help to get our name out there. Matthew Owens said easy to work on too. Yeah. Pretty well plentiful in parts. I ain't gonna say cheap, but there's plenty of parts around. Matthew said plenty of space and parts are easy to get you can get them same day most times. Yeah. Cootie said maybe I blocked her. Let me check. I am often a little or a lot intoxicated when I'm watching the stream. OBS said, yep, TBI 350, the most reliable small block Chevy motor. Ever loved them TBI 350 motors? I'm good buddies with the Arco. I'll send him a link. Yes, please. Thank you. Anything to do to help us get it out and about, I'd love to. I'd love to get the subscriber count up and get more people coming in. I'm really trying to build a good platform here. Matthew Owens said, I think the Carb 350 better, but TBI isn't bad either. A lot of people talk junk about our 93 and our 95 OptiSpark, but it's done good for us. Now, we beat the shit out of our cars, our burnout cars, and they haven't let us down. Now, they may, they may blow up tomorrow, but like I said, even the rear end didn't break. We thought it broke the axle, but instead it broke the mini split block that we put in there. So the rear end's still good. So, I mean, we beat the snot out of these cars. Alexis said hi, and Matthew said my 94 has a TBI. My 94, it actually broke down, caught on fire right out here, right below the building. And they somebody pulled him up here in the parking lot. And I ended up buying the truck from him and drove him to where he needed to go. And just got the truck put over here aside. And they had put a 305 out of an old Chevy van in it with a carburetor. So I don't know that we'll ever get that truck back to stock. So we may end up using it for a burnout truck. I don't know at this point. OBS said, I hate carburetors. I love TBI, not hating. I don't like carburetors. I would like to stay, I would like to do the LS swap in my orange truck, but I would at least like to go with fuel injection on top of the motor that's in it. Or we're talking about putting the motor that's in Randy's Black Betty over in it, putting the big block in Black Betty. We have made a deal on another truck with a 454 in it. I don't know when we're going to get it here, but we are supposed to be getting a 1-ton flatbed with a 454 in it. Alexa said hi. She retracted a message and thunderstorms. Matthew Owens says you can pour gas down a TBI and get it started. Yes, we did that. If you'll go back and watch some of our videos, that's how we got Fireball running, to make sure it run before we figured out what was wrong. I would squirt gas down in it and it fired up. It's also why we call Fireball Fireball, because I called it on fire like that several times. Cootie said she did block me. Then she's not a bot then. Now, Alexis, why you blocked Cootie? OBS says doing ACE EFI on a 454 for a customer truck. I want to do one. I want to do the ACE. They're a little bit cheaper, but I want to do it on one of ours. We've got to get our projects back in line and trying to get so much going on. We're clearing the land, getting the paint booth, and we got so much going on. We don't have time right now to get everything going like we want, but we are working on it. Alexis got thunderstorms again. Alexis said car. Cootie said tell her I said she is a massive coward and her hardware needs to be better. Alexis said 1036. Matthew said my dad has a 98 1-ton dually dump truck with a 454. I'm sorry. I haven't seen this truck. Randy has seen it. But I think it's just a flatbed. I don't think it's a dump truck. Once we get it here and figure out, then I'm going to figure out if I'm going to keep, I may not sell my 53-foot trailer. I may, if we're going to get that truck running, I may put a hitch on that flatbed and pull the 53-foot truck with a 53-foot trailer with it. So I don't know. I don't have to sell the trailer, but I will. I'd like to have the money right now. It'd really help out. But if it sells, it sells. If it don't, it don't. Matthew Owens said, ask Alexa if she is the Terminator. Roger said Pinto wagon with a 454 and had to take out firewall. I bet so. Cootie said still don't know why, don't know what 2 + 2 is, Alexis, question mark. How about clicking the image to verify which image has a stoplight in it? Matthew says he has another 98 dually, a regular truck with I think mud grips, and one time he pulled a 10,000 chipper out at high slope, like 85 degrees, hill backyard like it was nothing. It was impressive, I bet so. I got my little 30 horsepower John Deere tractor, if y'all seen it on the channel when we do stuff. I've got, we were down in the cutting some logs and pulling the logs out of the hill. I mean, out of the gully. And my father-in-law was using a Massey Ferguson. It's a like a 80 or 90 horsepower Massey Ferguson. It's a pretty good sized tractor. And he was hooked to a log, and he couldn't get up that hill. So I hooked a chain to the front of his tractor because it was trying to rear up. And I hooked the chain to the front of his tractor, and I pulled him out with that log hooked to him. I really just kept the front end from coming over, but it sure did look funny. That little bitty 30 horsepower John Deere tractor coming out pulling that big ass Massey Ferguson with a log. That was funny. Cootie said, so do you want to see the canvas, or do you want to be surprised? That is 100% up to you, Cootie. If you want to send us a picture of it, that would be awesome. If you want us to be surprised and open it on the live, that's 100% up to you. I'll go either way with it. Lumpy sent Flow State for 200 joules. Thank you, Lumpy. Leo said, been counting up my blessings, and turns out I ain't got one. OBS said, thanks, Lotus, for the sub. I'll be posting videos soon. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I was going to say, we better be subbed to you. Cootie said, y'all, it locked up. It locked it. Cootie says, I'm number freaking 1. Woohoo! It took a hold. Lotus is still number 3, though. Lumpy said, hello, folks. OBS said, John Deere pulling a Massey Ferguson as usual. I run big 640 horsepower John Deere quad tracks up here on the prairies. That would be cool. But it was really funny. I wish that I'd had a video camera and everything then. That would have been good videos. Matthew said, have you ever heard of a Stinger Panther tractor? I have not. Lotus said, no problem. Jane said, I'm signing off early, guys. Everyone have a good night. See you, Jane. Thanks for coming in. Lotus says, if you like RC stuff, I have videos on my channel. Outlaw said, what's up, fellas? Big fellas, Minnesota here. Arco Horton. Hello, Outlaw, or Arco. I appreciate you coming in. Welcome to the channel. Oh, I like the channel there. I'm gonna have to check some of that out. Lotus said, I got points. Woohoo! OBS said, hi, Arco brother. Woo! Alexa said, hi. Matthew Owens said, Stephanie, I don't know how to pronounce it, Panther. I know I'm saying it wrong, and I apologize, but I've never heard of one. Alexa says 12 and 36. Cootie says, definitely more of an art piece than just a label, to be honest. Well, I promise you it will go up here in the office, and we'll make sure everybody sees it. I am going to have to change everything around because I do have one more name to go up on the wall, and then I got to do something because I'm out of space. So I've got to do some changing around in this office to make sure everybody gets their name on the wall that wants to be a member. GT Fanboy said, guess who came to revisit this shitter? All right, hello, GT Fanboy. Alexa said, I just said that, I believe. Sorry. OBS says, told you guys I'd get him in. I do appreciate it. I really do. We're really trying to get the channel out there, and everybody's welcome. We do this every day from 7 to 9. We do it Sunday morning. Usually cook Sunday morning breakfast. This week it was hamburgers for hamburgers and hot dogs for Father's Day. And we put a video out every day. It goes up every morning at 4 o'clock. Outlaw laughs at OBS. Lotus said, welcome, Outlaw. Alexis says 11, 36, and 13. Cootie said, yo, I flipped around and the phone flipped out of my hand and smacked me in the face. Alexa said hi, and Outlaw said thanks, Lotus. OBS said had to get some action out of you, Arco. Matthew Owens said, what happened to getting off at 8? We used to go from 6 to 8, but when the time changed and like I was on the skid steer today until 7, till 8, Randy read from 7 to 8. We changed it from 7 to 9 in the summertime because that gives me another hour to work while the sun's out. I don't know how we're going to do it when the wintertime gets here, if we'll leave it from 7 to 9 or we'll back it up 6 to 8. I don't know at this point. We're going to have to see how everything, how it all happens. If we get the things going where we got our projects going, then we'll leave it at 7 to 9. It just depends on how it all comes out. Alexa says 13, 36, 6, and 36. Matthew Owens says, can you play one of the skid steer bucket at a time song? We're getting close to the end, and I'm trying to read. I need to see if I can get Randy to put those up so y'all can click on it and hear them. Outlaw, we are in Denton, North Carolina, in United States, Denton, North Carolina. Alexa retracted the message. Lotus says, Lowell, your phone slapped you. Matthew Owens said, or outro song is cool too. Well, we got a couple more minutes and I'll play that one. Outlaw said, are you in Canada? Never done. No, like I said, Denton, North Carolina. Alexa said 7 and 36. Cootie said yes. Lotus, it did. Matthew Owens said, where is Denton? Have you heard of High Point, Greensboro, Charlotte? It's in between Charlotte and Raleigh. Yeah, I know y'all have heard of that. Raleigh's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Raleigh's the capital of North Carolina. OBS says we all need to bug Outlaw Edge to get him to make more videos. He's been slacking. Yes, we want to see more videos. If you're working on it, you need to video it. Put it out there. Somebody will watch it. Outlaw said, sub to your channel, brother. Thank you. I did go on and sub to you. I do appreciate it. Outlaw says, I've been slacking on my vids, bro. I'm trying my best to keep it going between Randy and I. Randy does a better job on editing the videos, but sometimes I have to do it. But we do try to get one out every single day. We want to do more shorts and some skits and stuff like that. We just don't have time. We're trying, but we just don't have time. Alexis 5 and 36. The Cootie said, send it to you on Snapchat, Pops. Damn it, there it went. Oh, that's cool, Cootie. I like that. Matthew Owens said, I've been to Raleigh one time back in '05 when my dad ordered his bucket truck from Altec. Yeah, like I said, I think we're 2 hours from Raleigh. OBS says, I can't say much. I'm in the middle of a channel overhaul. We're trying, I'm telling you. If we can get the land cleared, and we're going to start having a couple little races here. And in order to be a part of what we're doing, you got to be a member of the channel, and you come over here and bring your car, and we're going to do some races and stuff like that. But I am in the middle of trying to clear the property. Alexa said it's 7 and 36. Matthew Owens said, do you know what the Altec is? Yeah, I've seen them. I think you said bucket truck. Ours is boom truck, but ours is Apex? No. Starts with a P. Pack, damn it. I can't, we got a boom truck. Ours has got a grappler and stuff and a magnet on it, where y'all got a bucket. Ours is a boom truck. But I do know what you're talking about. Outlaw says OBS Restro that can flip up and hook and look sketchy. Yeah. Cootie said took a screenshot. You, I gotta be able to zoom in and look at it. Outlaw said can. OBS says I don't have a car to race, but I do have a dirt bike to race. Well, these are going to be like $500 cars, just something cheap. I would like to keep it kind of in the same thing. Like I like little Nissan hard-body trucks, maybe something like that, or a little Honda, something small that is kind of equal. On, I don't want to put a lot of money into it. Just you know, $500 car or something like that, and go play. That's all it is. Just gonna go out here and just have fun and a good time, beat and bang around until I can get afford to concrete it. Then we're gonna start the burnouts. Outlaw stupid ass phone can flip up lock sketchy OBS. Matthew said Altec is the biggest bucket truck boom truck company in America. I think my dad's truck is 80 foot of working height and all-wheel drive with a cat motor. Ours is not like that. I mean, we got, like I said, we got a boom on the back of ours that we can swing around and pick up ties and stuff like that. And then we've got a crane on our big truck that we never use, but it can pick up rail and put it on the top. OBS says, yeah, Arco does look scary. Alexis 837. Cootie says, so no charger, LMAO. OBS said, I do sketchy shit. Pete at SWRNC said, same thing, Arco. Well, we all do sketchy shit. Matthew said it has been stainless dump body too. Cool. Admin said hi. Matthew said, well, we fell in a septic tank one time. Ha. Ooh, that wasn't good. Matthew said, lucky it was only the left front tire. Alexis 9 and said hi. I see it's right here. Time to sign off. Let me see what I got going on here. Lex said 9 and 37 and hi. Matthew said the customer said there were none there, but we found it. I bet. If it's there, you'll find it with that big old truck. Cootie said it sounds like a shitty situation, Matthew. Alexa said yes. OBS said, why signing off with such a live chat? We got things we got to do. Finish making the video, and I got to get eat, get ready. I got to go in the morning. I got to be on the track at 5:30, so I'm going to have to get up around 3 to get out there on the railroad track. Goody said, good night, Pops. Remember, OBS, we do this every day, 7 to 9. If I didn't have something to do first thing in the morning, we'd keep going. It's going good. I do enjoy it. Cootie said, good night, Pops. John said, God bless everyone. Cootie said, catch you tomorrow. Matthew said, but it was empty. That all we had to do was lift the truck up with the outriggers and fill the hole with sand. Outlaw said, thanks for the show. I'll check your channel out, Arco. Thank you very much, Outlaw. OBS said I'll check in more often. Been busy at this time of year. I do understand. Like I said, we enjoy having everybody in here. Y'all welcome back anytime. Y'all have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this. And remember, keep it silly. Thank y'all.